So Rambo's strength is fading, and he decides on slowing down once it's dark. And he watches as gunships take out the abandoned camp that they were just at from afar, where the cave is. And Rambo finally collapses as Michelle tends to Troutman. So it's a big chase sequence right now. It's an incredible chase sequence. So Troutman apologizes to John for creating Rambo when they met, and the training, and Sam says that he didn't do John any favors by creating him, or creating the Rambo persona, or what we know as Rambo today. So Khalid, Ramid, and Akram keep on moving in the dark, momentarily resting here and there. Khalid on a bluff senses Soviets coming. Then we cut back to Rambo as he begins to get altitude sickness, which I knew was coming. I knew Morale was going to throw that in there from the footnotes in the essay in the beginning. See Morale's original script notes for that. So he steps into Water Troutman, and Michelle makes Rambo drink and stop to eat some or chew some bread as well. Michelle cloaks Troutman and Rambo in blankets. They start moving up into the snow again, and he soon realizes that he's on the same trail as the tribe. So we get back to Rambo's tracking now. They decide to make a separate trail because the Soviets will more likely follow the busier trail. So that then we get these two Russian soldier snipers using night vision are taken. The night vision kind of gets taken down by the cold, but accidentally they happen across Rambo's party. And Rambo grabs his gun and takes out the snipers with the launcher. The first shot in haste misses. Then a second time, and there's all these like muzzle flashes around them going off. And the third hits a snow wall above them. So Troutman's horse, this is pretty funny, Troutman's horse takes off running. And Michelle tries to grab the reins, but no dice. The horse takes off. So Rambo grabs onto Musa and pulls him up as an avalanche comes down, killing the snipers. Rambo slammed violently, then realizes the fear that Troutman could be dead because he too was in the crossfire of the avalanche. Like Rambo from the altitude sickness acted a little too soon. It's pretty funny, like unintentionally, as the horse, is scares and runs off directly into the avalanche. Michelle and Musa and Rambo reunite. Michelle with a broken arm now. So Rambo kind of broke her arm. Tends to Musa, and Rambo leaves them momentarily to find Troutman. So Rambo finds Troutman buried in the snow, and he digs him out. The horse is gone. And Rambo must now carry the gurney alone. So Rambo cuts up the blanket, makes Michelle a brace, like an arm brace for her arm, kisses her on the cheek. I guess that's a good payoff. Rambo breaks your arm and you get a kiss in return. Luckily, he finds Michelle's horse and rebuilds Troutman's litter contraption with the other horse. So Zyson is woken up by an updated report that the snipers have been downed, and the horse trails have been located. So Zyson organizes a strike ahead of the pass, and Akram still moving the tribes, not stopping for prayers now out loud. So they pray within their hearts. They beg Allah for forgiveness, noticing Pakistan in the distance and fear approaching gunships. Like they fear approaching gunships coming, but realizing that they're now headed towards something else. Rambo. So he orders the women and children to move on to Pakistan so he can go back with men for Rambo. So completely exhausted now, Rambo is moving on, and it seems the gunships have gone. So Rambo drinks from a stream, tends to Michelle with the canteen, also forcing Troutman and Musa to drink as well. It kind of reminds me of that scene from Rambo 4, that deleted scene where Rambo is dressing and cleaning the wounds in Sarah's feet. It kind of reminds me of that. So, he's forcing Troutman and Musa to drink as well, and super tired, calls himself a lazy bastard, and he eats a little bit more bread and drinks and lifts the litter and carries on. And Khalid and Ramid meet up, and Rambo decides they'll go around the valley into Pakistan because they can't go straight through out of fear of returning gunships. They indeed almost reach their destination, but are cornered by the armored carrier emerging from the trees, and Zyson cannons at different points between Rambo's party, toying with them, and Azov tries to make him stop, so Kurov kills Azov, who is trying to kill Zyson, then threatens Zyson for a promotion, so Azov is dead. All hell breaks loose as Akram orders an attack after watching Rambo's party being attacked, and the Soviets wish for a returning action. The Rambo's kind of cornered, and they're all cornered and unarmed, and now the cavalry is coming in. So they're wishing for help, and now help is on the way. And this is so begins the climax. So Rambo assembles the bow and arrow as the other people start fighting, and all the explosive arrows too. He's using all of them. He's like blowing this up, blowing that up, blowing that up. So he's using the bow with the explosive arrows. He goes back for Troutman, Musa, and Michelle, settles them safe away, joins in with the tribe fighters, who are now the tribe fighter. Everybody's fighting. The tribe fighters are fighting the Soviets. The Soviets are fighting everybody too. Rambo takes a manned down horse. This is awesome. And he gallops into battle with the down man's stolen gun. He takes the guy's gun and the guy's horse. He charges, after all the arrows are gone and the bow's gone. He charges forward, and he runs out of bullets, so he drops the gun. He rips out his knife. So he's charging forward, knife out. After the rifle is emptied, Rambo charges the fucking carrier, jumps one side, and tosses a knife through a fleeing commander's head as he jumps over the commander. Imagine that. Rambo's charging the carrier. There's someone running on the carrier. Rambo jumps with the horse over the side of the carrier, whips the guy in the head, in the back of the head, with a knife as he jumps over him. The horse crashes. Rambo falls off. He has killed Zyson. Rambo down and broken. The war is over. Then, this is great. Kurov approaches the disarmed Rambo, ready to shoot Rambo, but instead tosses the weapon away. Tosses the gun away. Rambo asks Kurov why the Russian didn't kill him, and Kurov responds, because Zyson ran, that he knew Zyson would run, that actually he was going to kill Zyson, but Rambo beat him to it, and tells Rambo that life is suffering, which kind of brings us back to the theory and the author's note. Rambo was questioning at the beginning of this book with the 5 truths of Buddha. Now, this was a twist that I did not see coming at all the first time I read it. Kurav then decides he's going to join the Mujahideen as a member. And Rambo thinks of Thailand and rallies up with Musa and Troutman and Michelle and the 3 other tribes, and they plan for Pakistan. And before any more gunships can return, they're going to be safe there, so they head there immediately. And Rambo thinks back to Kurav's life is suffering comment. And in an instant, Rambo finally embraces his destiny, coming to the realization that as long as people had been brutalized, he had a purpose. And although he hated what he was, that God had fated him a warrior to protect and to suffer so that others, would not have to no longer. And Rambo smiles as he stares down the draw into Pakistan and onward into the future, and God willing, maybe even salvation. So it's quite the arc from First Blood, the ending of First Blood, to the ending of this one. The ending of the second one kind of included. And that was Morel's classic end to Rambo. That was Morel's classic end to Rambo. Full circle, finally, ending the inner battle. Finally ending that inner battle. A great end here. They could have went all Force of Freedom after this, and it would have fit. So please, people, go out and get this book. I highly recommend it. I hardly spoiled it at all, because there is like 100 deeper levels as you read through it. You'll be glad you did. Thank you, David, for this trilogy and for this installment. I really just kind of skimmed the surface of the book for the review. There's really so much more that gives you an outlook on everything else in that universe that is just breathtaking. But, to do that, it would take 8 hours. And we don't have that much time. It's just an hour getting through the basics. So I guess we're going to move on to the rest of the Third Blood special now.